find myself saying, I'm lucky, it only happened to me one time. There's all these other girls who had to endure this several times, hundreds even. I even tried to convince myself that it didn't really happen. I couldn't face my parents and tell them what happened. I told them in a text message, just as I told my husband. It wasn't talked about. It was an elephant in the room. I felt like a coward. The hardest part of all of this is that I'm not only a gymnast and a patient, but I was a mentee and an admirer. I went to MSU. I graduated from MSU. I worked underneath them in the athletic training program at MSU and at Holt High School. I then took the vacant position as the athletic trainer at Holt High School, where he served as the team physician. Not even a month into my time working at the high school, I received a call. It was the end of August 2016. I still remember it so clearly. I was working a soccer game. He called to tell me he was being investigated for sexual abuse, and he wouldn't be at the school anytime soon. I couldn't believe it. I apologized, and then I pictured that one appointment at MSU Sports Med. This should have been a flag to me, but I couldn't face it. How is one supposed to face that? How am I supposed to continue doing my job like nothing happened? I work in a high school where so many other survivors have walked through those halls. A high school which holds hundreds of young girls. I would do anything for those girls, and I would do anything for my athletes, the athletes that I refer to as my kids. I didn't want to come forward because I felt ashamed, and I felt that admitting I was a victim of sexual assault, it would make me less of a role model to these kids. I thought they would think less of me, stop seeing me, trusting me, even confiding in me. I thought their parents wouldn't want me treating their kids. I'm still facing those doubts and insecurities. I'm even seeing a counselor so I can get through this. I'm sorting through not only the betrayal of Nassar, but understanding the roles some of my own preceptors and mentors had in this time. My entire world has been flipped upside down. This doesn't just stem through my gymnastics career, but this is my professional career and my personal life. I can't even begin to explain how my parents and my husband are handling this. My mom blames herself. My dad couldn't set foot in the courtroom. We are nowhere near the end of dealing and coping with this. I feel no amount of time spent in prison will fix all he has done, but knowing he cannot harm another girl again brings some sort of comfort in all of this. I chose to stand up here today, not just for myself, but for all the girls out there. To stand up here and tell my story, not with shame, not with guilt, but to be heard and know that my words matter. I'm here today to prove to these girls and my kids that their voice matters, their story is important, they are strong, and I encourage anyone who feels uncomfortable with something to speak up, to talk, to keep talking until someone takes action, because we all know talk is cheap. It's time to make a change. We are that change, all of us together. Thank you.